Welcome to lesson 11.9. Here is the spiral review from 11.8. Please check over your answers. If you have questions, contact me through email to talk those through. Today's learning goal is to use a formula to find the volume of a rectangular prism. So as we take a look, we have been doing volume and it looks like this. Both prisms show the same dimensions and have the same volume. We've been looking at them with unit cubes. Now we're simply going to have the measures. So instead of having a length of 4 unit cubes, or we're just going to call that 4 inches, and a width of, instead of 4 cubes that are each an inch, we'll have just 4 inches, and a height that is 3-inch cubes. Now we're just going to say 3 inches. So let's take a look at how this formula will work. Let's unlock the problem together. Mike is making a box to hold his favorite DVDs. The length of the box is 7 inches, the width is 5 inches, and the height is 3 inches. What is the volume of the box Mike is making? Go ahead and pause the video as you mark the items from the purple box. Here's one way. Use length, width, and height. You can use a formula to find the volume of a rectangular prism. Volume, that's represented as V, equals length, which is represented by L, times width, which is W, times H, which is the height. So if we take a look at this rectangular prism here, it has a length of 7 inches. It has a width of 5 inches and a height of 3 inches. Connect symbols and words. How can you use the associative property to group the part of the formula that represents area? Well, we know that area is length times width, right? So our length times width is 7 times 5, which would be 35. And then we're going to multiply that base, the area of the base, times the height. So the height is 3. 35 is the area of the base times 3. If we multiply that out, should be, I think, 105. Yep, that looks good. And because these are inches and we're talking about volume, the label will be cubic inches. So we should have 105 cubic inches. You have learned one formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism. You can also use another formula. All right, so the one that we have already talked about was volume equals length times width times height. Now, they're going to shorten that up and say, you know, really technically, length times width, that's just the area of the base. And we're going to call that B, and notice how that's a capital B. So another formula for volume would be B times H. You'll still have to figure out what that base is. It just shortens up the formula a little bit. So let's take a look. Use the area of the base, shape, and height. Emilio's family has a sand castle kit. The kit includes molds for several solid figures that can be used to make sand castles. One of the molds is a rectangular prism, like the one shown at the right. How much sand will it take to fill the mold? All right, so we're going to find the base. Remember, the base is simply the length times the width, which would be 5 is the one. I'm going to be precise about order here. Our length is 5, our width is 4, and our height is 8. Now we'll figure the area of the base. 5 times 4 is 20, and we'll multiply that times 8. 20 times 8 should be 160. And once again, because it's volume, it will be in a cubic measure. All the measures over here are inches, so The volume of this rectangular prism is 160 cubic inches. So it will take 160 cubic inches of sand to fill the rectangular prism. Go ahead and pause the video and work through A, then check back for the answers. Take a look at letter A. The length is 7 feet, the width is 4 feet, the height is 5 feet. Now, if we do this to figure the base first, that would be the 7 times 4, which is 28, and then we multiply that by the height. Now, those of you that are really savvy with math maybe didn't want to multiply 28 times 5, and you notice that all of these are multiplication across here. So when everything is multiplication, order doesn't matter. I could have multiplied 4 times 5 to get 20 and multiply that by 7 to get 140. It's a little easier mental math. Just understand that when we're talking about the formula and figuring the base, that would be the 7 times 4. All right, go ahead and pause the video and work through letter B. On letter B, we don't know what the height is, but we can figure that out because they gave us the volume. So we know that the length is 5 centimeters, the width is 4 centimeters. When we put that together to multiply it for the base, that's 20. Then I simply think 20 times what would give me a volume of 60, and that would be 3. And because this is just the one measure and not the volume, we want just centimeters. This would be 3 centimeters. The volume would be measured in cubic centimeters, but the height would be measured just in regular centimeters. All right, let's give a shot to number 1 and 2. Pause the video while you work that through, and then check back again. Remembering our formula for volume, length times width times height equals the volume. The length is 2 feet, the width is 4 feet. Together that would give us the base. The base times the height equals the volume. So in this case it would be 40. And our measure is feet. Volume is always in cubic units, so cubic feet, you might have written 40 cubic feet, or you might have written 40 feet cubed with the 3 as the exponent. Again, on number 2, our formula for volume is length times width times height equals volume. We have a length of 4 centimeters, a width of 4 centimeters, so 4 times 4 would give us the base area of 16. We multiply that times the height, which is 9. When I multiply that out, I get 144. Again, cubic units because it's volume, and this unit is centimeters, so 144 cubic centimeters, or you might have written 144 centimeters cubed. If you have questions, be in touch with me with your email or join me for the Zoom meeting. Otherwise, your assignment for 11.9 should be queued up and ready for you to work. Have a great day.